Hello everyone and welcome back today for part 2, you could say, of round 2 in the GT Sport League Gavra Racing. We have fixed all the lobby issues that we previously had.
30 minutes later.
And yeah, we finally got quali started, all the internet issues have been fixed, and we're finally live here in Dragon Trail Gardens for round 2. 12-minute qualifying followed by a 60-minute race, and once again I'm joined by a Cryptic.
Hello.
So the two Ferrari boys are in the commentary box today from the Premier Series, and we're going to hopefully try and provide some great racing once again, similar to last week, and hopefully we'll see another threading battle for the lead. If you didn't watch last week's race, it is up on the YouTube channel. I'd highly recommend you go watch it out. Go check it out. Give it a good watch. I'm sure you will enjoy it. But Toussaint, Dutchy, RNG and Tiger all had a thrilling battle for the lead, but it was Dutchy to come out on top, followed by Tiger and Epic, followed rounded out your top 3. So we do, qualifying has started. Some of the drivers have just completed their outlap and are on a flying lap. We've got Ted and Epic, the two Dusty Racing teammates, who are on a lap as RNG getting through. I think Epic backed off there, I'm not too sure. But RNG in the Ford, he is also starting his lap. We'll ride on board with Ted, rides the curb a little bit. I didn't see what he's on the super soft tyre, so the quickest compound of tyre, but the one that wears out fastest. We've got 4 different tyres, different types of tyre compounds: the super soft, the soft, the mediums, and the hard.
Oh, Finn spun.
As
luckily not touching. We did touch the barrier, but
spinning at the chicane
to get damage.
On board with Ted now, going through the tricky S's. I believe this is turn 9. Turn 8. As he approaches turn 9, a triple right-hander similar to the one in Turkey, and it takes it. So I take it in third gear, drops it down to second before going back up into third. Now another long straight down towards the penultimate 2 corners, and he's got RNG closely behind him in the slipstream. Epic also following. Funky the Viper got on the soft compound of tyre. Math Gamer also on the soft, so a few different tyre compound strategies. ×5 tyre wear and ×3 fuel really has made a huge tyre strategy difference. I can't speak today, but as Ted crosses the line to do a 31.7, puts him on provisional pole. RNG goes 7 tenths quicker, goes provisional pole with a 131 flat. Epic sets a 33.7. I'm sure he's got plenty of time to improve on that lap. Dutchy only in third place, 131.8. He's on the soft tyres. Berkey the Viper in 4th, 32.5. Scouting Ninja setting a 34.7, moving him up into 5th place as Scouting Ninja getting passed by, I believe that's Dutchy. Yeah, play Dutchy in the Toyota.
Ooh, scanning. Scouting Ninja getting really budged there over that curb. That curb is monstrous.
And Tiger, Holland asking where are Tiger and Toussaint. Tiger and Toussaint are currently in 9th and 10th. Tiger though going 3 tenths purple in the first sector. How's Toussaint's laps looking? I can't quite tell, but judging by the sector, judging by like landmarks where they're at, I believe Tiger's on the faster lap. We'll just have to keep an eye on where the 2 BCMR drivers finish in this race. What assist are on and what assist are off. Hang on a minute, let me think. I don't want to get this wrong. ABS is no limit, so they can use ABS. Counter steering is off. The driver line is off. Auto drive is off. No limit to traction as Epic goes. Provisional pole with a 30.4. Very good lap from him. Anyone who gets into the high 29s is probably a really good lap. The low 30s is also a competitive time as the Scouting Ninja improves, goes up into 8th place as Woody moves his way up into 5th place, a 32 flat. Toussaint goes up into 3rd place with a 131.5, and Tiger goes up into 2nd place, a 10th behind Epic with a 130.5. But I believe that's all the assists. I think I mentioned them all.
Yeah.
There is someone on the start-finish straight. If I can flick through, literally every single driver to find out who it is. It's Ifin on an outlap, so he in the Ferrari will be starting his first flying lap. 6 minutes left to go in quali. And currently Epic is out on a lap as well. Currently kind of leading the train. He's 4 tenths off his personal best. He might come into the pits and change his tyres. I believe Tiger Assassin's going even quicker. I think he went purple in the first sector. But we'll just have to keep an eye.
Went onto the gravel there. Just like a half spin. He's in the way of 2 Saint's lap. Oh, 2 Saint massively getting affected by Scouting Ninja. He's just trying to.
Off 2 Saint while he's on his flying lap. We've got a nice train of cars though approaching the start-finish straight. Scouting Ninja saying sorry. As Ted comes across the line, does he improve in his lap? He's 6 tenths slower on that attempt. But we've got Math Gamer, Woody and Play Dutchy all coming up to the line. We'll see where Math Gamer goes. Does he improve in his lap? Woody improves with 31.3. He goes up into 4th place as Dutchy goes down the inside of his teammate. He is Woody over the 3.5 tenths behind RNG Elims. As we've actually got a little bit of racing going up in front. Dutchy and Math Gamer into the chicane of turns 2 and 3.
Oh, bit of contact.
Dutchy will be trying to get past as quickly as possible. I believe that's Finn about to come across the start-finish straight. It is. And 1:31.7. There's a little bit of delay with that one, but it goes up into 7th place in the Ferrari.
Oh, a little bit more contact.
And who's on a lap? Tiger is on a lap while Fergie the Viper behind him runs really late down in the braking zone of turn 6. No
Ted's got damage.
And Ted's got damage. There's a little bit of a train here. RNG only just less than a tenth off his personal best. Math Gamer gets up the way for him. The Ford GT spec something drive test car driver, and he'll be trying to.
RNG really quick in that Ford GT. He is known to have really good starts, like last week's race.
I think he went from 4th to 1st. In the run down to turn 1 at Brands Hatch, so it was a really good start from him last weekend. But as he approaches the line, Dutchy goes even quicker with a 30.1. Wow. RNG doesn't improve in his lap, but Play Dutchy 3 tenths clear of Epic behind him in the Aston Martin, and a really good lap from Dutchy, a 1:30.1. So maybe he'll be trying to push to get into the high 29s. 2 Saints just finished his out lap. He'll be trying to improve as much as he can, work his way up the grid. He's currently in 6th place. Finn on his flying lap is coming through the final corner now in the Ferrari, running up to the line. He's currently in 8th place. Will he improve? He does improve by just under 3 tenths, and he moves 4 thousandths behind 2 Saint, your previous championship winner. Although 2 Saint is on a lap. We'll ride on board with your previous GT Sport champion as he goes 1.5 tenths purple in the first sector alone. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead of him. He's got a Lexus to deal with, sorry, but the Lexus appears to got out of the way nicely for 2 Saint in the Aston Martin. Like I said, your previous GT Sport and Premier Series champion. Currently 10th and a bit behind Woody, but a whole 1.3 seconds behind his championship rival Play Dutchy. Play Dutchy did win the last race out in Brands Hatch, but 2 Saints gone 1.4 seconds quicker than his personal best. So if he's able to complete this lap, it's looking pretty good for pole, if not close to pole, or provisional pole at least. There's currently 2.5 minutes left in quali. Dutchy and Epic are both in the pits. We'll keep a ride on board with 2 Saint as he approaches the penultimate 2 corners, hitting the first apex nicely, and then approaching the second one. Nicely hit again. Runs a little bit wide into the curb. That might hinder his exit a little bit. But in the run down to the line, it's going to be a 1:30.3. 2 tenths behind Play Dutchy. And a good lap from him. He's in the low 30s. And moved his way up into 2nd place. I believe that's Finn approaching the line. It is Finn. It doesn't appear to be an improvement. 5 seconds off of his personal best, so that might have been a little mistake, or he might have got held up in traffic or decided to abandon his lap. Speaking of traffic, we've got quite a long train here. Dutchy, Epic, Woody, Ted and someone in 5th. It's RNG in this train. As RNG kicking up a little bit of dust in the background. Probably wouldn't have cost them too much time. Meanwhile, Ted and Woody are fairly close together, two Irish drivers. One of them in the Aston, one of them in the Toyota. And if he hasn't held him up too much, this will be really good for Ted, as he's going to be getting the slipstream on both this straight and the final straight, as Woody actually pulls over to the inside and backs off of his lap. So Ted won't get the luxury of the slipstream into the final corner, down the final straight, but Woody's going to now have Ted's slipstream going down the start-finish straight to start one of his laps. Play Dutchy, I believe, is coming across the line. He starts his flying lap. Ted improves and moves up into 7th place at 1:31.4. And there's only 30 seconds left of quali. There are quite a few drivers in the run up to the line. One of them is Tiger Assassin. Will he improve on his lap? It goes provisional pole position with a 1:30 flat. Only 2 thousandths of getting into the 1:29's. A really quick lap from him in the Aston Martin. A whole 10th clear of Play Dutchy, as Ted's gone off onto the grass. I think that's to let another driver go. Finn moves his way up into 6th place in the Ferrari. He improves on his personal best by 2/10, moving his way 2/10 behind RNG. There is someone in the S's. It is Play Dutchy. He's on his final flying lap. He's got to try and find a 10th in order to close down Tiger Assassin.
Sector 1, it was only by 10 thousandths.
Ooh, 6,000. Sorry, yeah, quicker in the middle sector. We'll keep on board with Play Dutchy. Down the second, the second straight, the third longest, and this is going to be a really close end to qualifying has ended, so anyone on the lap will be able to complete this lap and this lap only, as Play Dutchy now. You qualified on pole last week, I think, and in the run up to the line, does he improve? He does improve. It's a 1:29.8. So far the only driver with the 1:29's, as Tiger's backed out of his lap. Toussaint's still on a lap. A few drivers crossing the line now. Woody doesn't improve. RNG doesn't improve. But Epic's got scouting slipstream, so Epic might improve on his lap, and only a 100th off. But where will Tiger doesn't improve, and Toussaint doesn't improve either. A few more drivers though coming across the line. Math Gamer doesn't improve on his lap. I'm trying to find the people crossing the line, and Finn comes across the line in 6th place, and that is the end of quali. Play Dutchy starts on pole position, followed by Tiger, Toussaint, Epic, RNG. I don't know. I think it was RNG, Finn, Woody, Ted. I think we'll get the timings back up again briefly, and then Ted, Furky the Viper, Math Gaming, and Scouting Ninja bounce off the grid. But the second time this season we will be having a grid start. We don't get to see the 5 red lights, unfortunately, but that is quite depressing. I was really looking forward to seeing them, but we can guess anyway. They don't even turn on in the top left of the screen. We can't even see the in-game lights. Oh, there they are, 5 red lights.
Would do a fat dive bomb into turn 1.
And it's the lights out, and away we go. And Dutchy's off to a good start. Toussaint off to a really good start, as it's already almost 4 wide. Tiger off to a really good start there, as Dutchy's dropped down all the way to 5th place. Epic and Finn getting a really good start. Finn up into 4th place, as looking towards the back of the grid. I think it's all clear through turn 1. Scout Ninja's not had the greatest start. He's Math Gamer's not had the greatest start. Already a few seconds behind the leaders, but Epic's moved his way up into 2nd place. Dutchy getting past Finn and Toussaint. Toussaint dropping down to 5th place. And I don't believe anyone has damage as of yet. Ted picking up a 1 second time penalty, presumably for cutting the chicane. RNG pulling up alongside Tiger Assassin, and Tiger's actually looking for a move on Finn. Almost swipes across the Ford driver, but Tiger moving his way up into 4th place. Goes a little bit too deep. Toussaint going a little bit too deep. That's going to allow Finn in the Ferrari to get back past. But there's Woody in the background going side by side with Ted. Woody down the inside into the SS section. We'll ride on board with him as he's going side by side with Ted. Then it's a little bit of contact, but only light wheel banging from those two, so it's all clean off the start. Epic has got past Tiger for the lead. Epic, 2 Aston Martin drivers leading the way. There's Dutchy up into 3rd place, with Toussaint still behind Finn in the Ferrari, so Finn's doing actually quite well to get that Ferrari up into 4th place. But now we're going to have a slipstream train down towards the final corner. Tiger looking for a move down the inside, but not close enough to make the move. That might hinder his run onto the final corner slightly, as Now we approach the start-finish straight to complete the end of lap 1. I don't think anyone's got damage, so for the first time everyone has completed the first lap without picking up any damage. But Tiger only 3/10 clear of Epic, and sorry, behind Epic is Dutchy actually, all over the back of Tiger. He might go for a move down the inside into turn 2, but it's not close enough to pull off anything just yet. Toussaint though getting past Spin. He moves his way up into 4th place. And looking down the back, the rest of the grid, I believe everyone else has made it through cleanly. There's a little bit gaps towards the midfield, but Tiger now in the slipstream. He's got a really good run through turn 4 into turn 6, but doesn't decide. So still not quite close enough yet. Both in the same car, so it's going to be down to raw pace and consistency. Obviously, it's an hour race, so consistency is definitely key in these races, and hopefully it's going to be a very entertaining race.
Looks like it's going to be a 3-way race between Dutchy, Tiger and Epic for the lead. These drivers really stepping on the gas right now.
Yeah, definitely. As Dutchy all over the back of Tiger, who's all over the back of Epic, and you can see there Toussaint in the background closing in
Dutchy
the gap ever so slightly. We could potentially see a 3-wide moment down the start-finish straight. However, the Supra isn't as quick as the Aston Martin in straight line, so Dutchy will definitely struggle as Epic's gone really wide through the final penultimate 2 corners. And he might get overtaken by Toussaint if he's not careful. Toussaint though is going to have the run down to the turn 1. I'm not sure he's close enough yet to make a move. He might try something into turn 2 as Tiger now leads this race. Followed by Dutchy in 2nd, Epic in 3rd. He is under pressure though from Toussaint in 3rd. Toussaint might actually go for a move down the inside. He's looking for it down the inside. But isn't quite close enough yet to go make any moves. There is a car in the pits. It's Ferky the Viper who's picked up front left suspension and bumper damage. Really unfortunate for him. Play Dutchy though all over the back of Tiger. He's surely close enough now to maybe look for a move down the inside. He pulls over to the left hand side. Will he be later on the brakes? He is slightly later on the brakes. Play Dutchy goes down the inside.
Epic's
and he's made his way up into 4th place. And Epic,
he's got front
Epic off into the wall. Get a quick replay of what happened there. So riding on board with Epic on the replay cameras, you can see the battle up ahead between Tiger and Dutchy. Dutchy going down the inside, and he was just...
I think he just missed his braking point.
Drive forever there, missed his braking point.
Really unfortunate.
And I've clicked the replay button by accident. Do apologise. Anyway, Dutchy getting past Tiger. Tiger now under pressure from Toussaint. Finn though in the Ferrari is actually keeping quite close to Toussaint here. He is in the super soft though. Toussaint, Tiger and Dutchy are all on the soft tyres, so we'll be looking to try and go longer in this race than those on the super softs. The strategy.
Matty? I think your mic's doing the thing.
Out? Oh dear.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, there you are.
So like I was saying, well, I was saying to myself anyway, 4 laps after 5, so maybe about 40 so laps in this race potentially, roughly around that. All depends on the leader. Obviously, there's no set laps, but it's got a nice train here. The front 4, all pretty close together. RNG closing a little bit of a gap to Finn in the Ferrari. 1.2 seconds was 1.4 a few laps to go. But now I'm sure some of the drivers will be trying to get into the flow of it a bit more, as Epic has dropped his way down into 10th place. I'm assuming he hasn't pitted for the damage, so he's still got that front right damage, and is deciding to stay out on those soft tyres.
Oh, Scouting Ninja into the gravel and he spun round.
Scouting Ninja round at turn 8, I think this is. We'll just get a quick replay on board with the Mercedes driver, the same car that Toussaint used last season. He ran wide onto the gravel, and then that caused his Mercedes to spin round on the curb. Unfortunate for him, he's picked up front left damage as well. But meanwhile, we've still got the battle up between the top 3, the same top 3 as last week, Tiger, Toussaint and Play Dutchy. I'm sure we'll see this common top 3 throughout the season. It's kind of like Hamilton, Bottas and Verstappen, you could say. So Play Dutchy in the Toyota Supra leading the way. 7 tenths, 8 tenths behind, ahead of Tigers is setting purple sector 1. And it's a really close top 3. Finn's just dropping off a little bit. RNG keeping the consistent gap, 1.2, 1.1 seconds. It's behind the Ferrari driver. But
they're all on the same tyres.
And I think Furky the Viper's made a pit stop as well. He seems to have dropped 35 seconds behind the leader, so I think he's put on a set of soft tyres. I'm not too sure. As Scouting Ninja's got a 5/10 penalty. And 2 Saints all over the back of Tiger now. Only 3 tenths separating the BCMR drivers. And I forgot to mention this at the start because we had the lobby issues. But this league is sponsored by Black Country Metal Recovery. And these are the 2 drivers that race for the BCMR team, Tiger Assassin and 2 Saint 0208. It's the first sponsor we've had in the league actually, and it's a good start to what we might see in the future. But I'll say more.
A bit of team orders here between the BCMR drivers.
Potentially, we might see.
Maybe.
Might see some team orders potentially.
2 Saint is generally quicker than Tiger may let him by to try and catch Dutchy.
They might work together
but
too.
These 2 seem to do the same pace all around the track.
Yeah, they seem to be on fairly similar pace between one another. They might use each other to their advantage to try and close the gap up to Play Dutchy. He's probably the main championship rival. Dutchy does have a 1.3 second lead over Tigers, so whether they'll consider swapping each other around and seeing if 2 Saint can push, or they might just slipstream each other on the start-finish straight. But meanwhile, Finn is starting to pull out a little bit of a gap to RNG. Not closing the gap down to the top 3, but he's got quite high rear tyre wear, says the Ferrari driver. RNG on the softs and Finn on the super softs. So there's 2 different tyre compounds there. Woody about 6 seconds behind those guys. He's on the medium compounded tyre, so he's going to be going much longer than those on the softs and super soft runners.
Dutchy really pushing now. On a 1.5 second lead now. I think he's using more of his fuel and tyres.
Play Dutchy setting a 1 minute 30.1. That's almost as quick as he went in qualifying. If he finds 2 tenths, 2 or 3 tenths, then he would have matched his quali time. But Ted is into the pits. He didn't have any damage. He started on the super soft tyre, so the super softs going 6 laps for Ted. He's into the pits. It didn't look like he put in didn't put in too much fuel. Put in a little bit of fuel. Comes out behind his teammate Epic, who's dropped down to 8th place after misjudging his braking point at turn 6. And there's the switch. 2 Saint getting past Tiger there down the straight after turn 4, and he's moved his way up into 2nd place. We'll be looking to try and close down the 2.1 second gap on Play Dutchy, and we'll see what these guys can do. Obviously, it's not over till it's over, as we saw last week. And there's plenty of time to find time. But still, 50 minutes left in the race. I know it's a little bit later than usual. And just looking down towards the rest of the field, we don't have many close battles. I believe Tiger and 2 Saint are our closest 2 drivers on track, so we'll just keep an eye on them for now, just to make sure they don't crash into each other. And hopefully we'll have some great action. However, Dutchy is pulling out quite a bit of a gap now, 2.5 seconds between him and 2 Saint. 2 Saint's not quite closing the gap as he would imagine. 2 Saint doing a 1 minute 31.4 on his last lap. Dutchy doing a 1 minute 30.8, so going 6 tenths quicker last lap than 2 Saint. But it's still early days and still plenty of time to find. Epic is closing the gap to Math Gamer. The gap now 2.8 seconds. Epic was leading this race until he misjudged braking points down at turn 6. Unfortunate from him. Didn't have the best of starts last week either. Ran a little bit wide through turn 1 and then span round. But was able to recover up into 3rd place. So it's a good drive from him. But meanwhile, Dutchy is continuing to pull out a gap. Now 3 seconds between him and Toussaint. Toussaint and Tiger still fairly closely matched on pace. So maybe they've burnt out a little bit of their tyres too quickly, potentially. I'm not too sure. But we'll just have to keep an eye on this battle for second and the lead. Finn, though, the gap between him and RNG is fairly consistent for 2 different tyre compounds. RNG's doing pretty decently to start matching the lap times of Finn. His tyres are definitely going to be going off soon. Obviously the front left doesn't take as much of a beating as the right and the rear tyres around this track. So he's going to have to try and manage his tyres a little bit into this race. Epic now though, only a second behind Math Gamer after Epic had his incident on lap 6 I think it was, or lap 4. He's recovered up to 8 so far. We'll see what he can do. He's now all over the rear of the Lexus driver, takes a wider line, will have a better run through the final corner onto the start-finish straight, and it's a long run down to turn 1. He pulls over to the left-hand side, give him the inside line, as improves, sets a personal best lap, 30.9, and Epic makes his way up into 7th place. I'm not sure Mac the Game is going to be able to hang it round the outside.
Toussaint with the 1.5 second time penalty.
That's Toussaint picking up a 1.5 second time penalty, presumably for cutting turn 2 and 3.
Yeah. Dutchy leading by 3.6 seconds now.
Dutchy is on an absolute flyer. He's 3.6 seconds clear after 9 laps. Meanwhile, his Toussaint's teammate Tiger, he is still matching Toussaint. So it looks good for these two. If they can secure a 2-3 in this race, then that will help them out in constructors. I believe a 2-3 is 45 points, but I think. And Dutchy currently has the fastest lap, so Dutchy will be picking up 31 points.
Dutchy's teammate Woody in 6th place right now. He's having a really quiet race.
Yeah, Woody on the medium tyres. I think he's the only one on the medium tyres. He's currently 8 points.
Yo, Mike. He's currently 8.7 seconds behind RNG right now. Just finish your line off there.
Is this better?
There, yeah.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. But yeah, I think there's a car running wide there in the final corner. I think it was Ted potentially running a little bit wide. But Toussaint serving his penalty slowly. 8 tenths, he has the full 45 minutes to serve the penalty. But yeah, it's the first penalty I think of this race.
You don't have to serve it straight away, do you?
Yeah, with the penalty system that used in the online lobbies is just.
I remember when I was in the GT Sport season, as soon as I got the penalty, I slowed down, slammed on the brakes straight away. Because I thought that's how it goes. Anyways, Dutchy with a 5-second gap now in front.
Dutchy is definitely got some pace. He's really, maybe he'll make an extra stop or try something interesting. But there is a fair battle between Math Gamer and Ted, actually for 8th place. Ted trying to do a switchback, and a really good move actually from Ted. I did not see that coming.
Nice one.
We'll ride it on board with Ted. I don't know why it's giving me a rear shot, but on board, Math Gamer goes a little bit too deep. Ted sees the move. He saw the gap and went for it. Really good move from Ted. Moves his way up into 9th place, as actually Math Gamer has gone through. I've missed that on the replay cameras. Ted's got damage. We'll see what happened here. I think I'm going to catch the end of this. Ted runs wide. He was trying to go Math Gamer going down the inside, and Ted just ran wide onto the AstroTurf, and that just carried him into the wall. He's into the pits to repair the damage, and presumably will probably change tyres as well. Meanwhile, the gap for second. Meanwhile, the gap for the driver, the battle for second is opened up a little bit to a second. Tyre wear looking really bad on all 3 cars, all 3 of the top 3. So maybe they'll be into the pits in the next few laps to pit on maybe for the mediums or potentially the hards, as RNG's got past Spin. I didn't even see that again, I was too busy looking at the replay cameras. But Bin in the Ferrari, his soft tyres are definitely running out of grip, and RNG on those soft tyres will have the advantage in this stage of the race, but Finn will try his best to try and stay behind. And Finn on the super softs. As it's actually going to go down the inside of RNG Limbs after RNG going a little bit wide, and clean move from the Ferrari driver up into 4th place. But yeah, meanwhile, the battle for second has kind of opened up a bit. Tiger got a 1.2 second gap now to Toussaint. Meanwhile, RNG Limbs is going to try and look for down the inside into the final corner, but not close enough yet. But I believe Finn's going to go into the pits on their super softs. He is. That will release RNG Limbs into some clean air. He's on the soft compound tyre, and I will be looking to try and go as long as he can. Probably try and match the leaders. But Finn in the Ferrari, he's still in the pit, so he's putting quite a bit of fuel. About 80% of his fuel tank is full, and he's going to come out ahead of Matt Gamer and behind Woody in 7th place. And currently we've had 20 minutes of this race. Still got another 40 to go. But so far it's actually been quite an interesting race. We've got Toussaint and Tiger battling for 2nd place. The gap though has opened up a little bit. But Dutchy, a 6.8 second lead. This guy's unstoppable. Driver number 88 by the looks of it. And he is definitely on a charge in this race. Just trying to look for some on-track battles currently. I think Epic has got past Woody, up into 5th place. He's on the fresher tyres and has less fuel than Woody, so he's going to be going quicker in this stint of the race. And Berkey the Viper and Scouting Ninja. RNG into the pits on the soft tyres, so
he's going to put on the...
What tyres is this going to be for RNG? Maybe this will trigger a few pit stops from the leader. I'm going to guess the mediums. It's the super softs. So RNG opting for the super soft strategy, so he's going to be going quicker in this stint, but he's not going to be going as long as those in the softs on the mediums, and has come out right behind Math Gamer, so that's quite interesting to see that he's gone into the super softs. We'll see what the top 3 have to do, what they do about in this race. They might go into the set of mediums if they've made the if they make the softs go for 20 minutes. They might try and make the mediums go for 40, depending on if the fuel load can get them to the end of the race. I think a full tank can get you to the end of the race from this stage. But we'll just have to wait and see. RNG Limbs trying to go down the inside of Math Gamer, but is round and has front damage.
No.
Really unfortunate for him. A replay of this, and Math Gamer runs a little bit wide. RNG Limbs has the line, and he actually got onto the curb. There wasn't contact between the two, and as he tried to rejoin, he picked up the damage on the front left. So really unlucky for RNG. And that's going to drop him down to 8th place after pitting, and has picked up the front damage. But the top 3 still haven't pit in this race.
On the back of Woody now. Oh, Woody just dives into the pits as soon as I see that.
And Woody into the pits from the mediums. So,
another pair of mediums.
Woody's coming off the mediums. I think he's going to go onto another set of the mediums, as our Math Game is also into the pits. We'll just wait and see what tyres they all go onto. And it's a lot of fuel for Woody. It might be about a full tank almost. It is a full tank. He pits for another set of medium tyres. Meanwhile, Toussaint's extending his gap to Tiger in 3rd. Meanwhile, Play Dutchy is just completely storming off with this race. Currently got an 8-second lead, almost a 9-second gap towards his nearest rival in 2nd. It's been a really great race from him. Ted getting past Math Gamer. Ted's up into 8th place after Math Gamer pitted for a fresh set of the medium compound tyre. But it's going to be interesting to see when the top 3 decide to pit. We've had people in the supers, the softs and the mediums all come into the pits. And as I say that, Play Dutchy, your leader does come into the pits from his soft tyres. I wonder whether we will see Toussaint or Tiger, or maybe both of them come into the pits. Toussaint pits, Tiger doesn't follow him in and stays out for an extra lap. On the soft, where will Play Dutchy come out? Play Dutchy putting in quite a bit of fuel. He's been held in the pits for a long time here, so maybe this is a fuel tank going into the Toyota Supra, and it's almost a full tank. 94% of fuel going into the car, and has come out about 10 seconds behind Tiger. Toussaint meanwhile just coming up the pits now. Will he come ahead of Finn? Finn actually comes out ahead of Toussaint, so the overcut has worked for Finn. He pitted for the super soft though, and Toussaint pitting a whole tank on the soft.
Yeah.
He might try and go to the end on those soft tyres. We'll just have to wait and see. He might go for a super soft run later on in this race, but Finn on the soft tyre, on the super soft tyres, pitted 3 or 4 laps ago. Will definitely be trying to go quick on this loop. And you can see there Toussaint closing up on the back of the Ferrari driver. 2 different cars and 2 different tyre compounds, so we'll just have to wait and see when and where Toussaint tries to make his move. Obviously he wants to try and get it over and done with it as quick as possible to try and close down the gap to Play Dutchy up in front. But Finn still holding 4th place through a really tricky S's section into the triple right-hander now. Toussaint clipping the cut apex better than Finn. Really nice camera angles through the exits of the turn 12, and Tiger's into the pits. He had 4% of his fuel left. I'm assuming he's going to pit for the mediums, the soft tyres and follow his teammate, but we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in respect to his teammate. Epic's also into the pits from his worn soft tyres. Finn and Toussaint now coming down the start-finish straight. Where will Tiger Assassin come out? Tiger's still putting fuel in as Finn and Toussaint cross the start-finish straight, and Tiger's actually lost a lot of time with the overcut. He's lost was that 3.8 seconds
to Toussaint
and 4 seconds to Dutchy, but Toussaint all over the back of Finn now, almost pushing him through turn 2, 3 and 4.
Oh, they don't have contact or anything.
And the run down
Clean, guys.
Run down towards turn 5 or 6. Toussaint looking for it down the inside. He's going to try and go later on the brakes than the Ferrari and moves his way up into 2nd place, and doesn't go too late on the brakes either. Really nice move from Toussaint, and now he's got 13 seconds to try and close down to Play Dutchy. But Finn on those super softs will be trying to close. Will be trying to keep with Toussaint and potentially try and annoy him a little bit, try and get past, try and be a thorn in his side, and get a little bit racy
between these two.
Definitely, and if Tiger is able to catch up, he's now 2.7 seconds behind these guys if these two start battling. So Toussaint's going to want us to try and potentially try and push to try and close the gap to Dutchy, or he might try and hold Finn up a little bit to allow his teammates to catch up to this battle. But Finn staying behind Toussaint for now. I'm not sure which one of these two cars is quicker in a straight line, but Toussaint got a really but Finn got a nice exit through the penultimate corner. He's already gaining time on Toussaint. Toussaint goes defensive to the inside, way off the racing line, but Finn is unable to challenge into turn 1. In the long swooping left-hander, really easy to catch 2 drivers out if they're going side by side through that corner, but no one's made a mistake of it just yet. But you can see there in the background the other BSMR driver of Tiger is closing the gap down. Only 1.6 seconds separated him and Finn, and I think that's the purple sector. I didn't quite see. Play Dutchy setting a 1 minute 29.8 as his fastest lap, the fastest lap of the race as it stands. Tiger is closing the gap to Finn in the Ferrari being a very snappy car. Meanwhile, the Aston Martin has got some nice downforce added to it. It's also pretty quick in a straight line, as we saw in Brands Hatch. Actually unable to challenge Tiger or Toussaint going down the straight after turn 4. If you remember, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you go check it out. It's on the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel while you're there. But Finn's actually staying relatively close to Toussaint. Only 8 tenths separate the two drivers, but Dutchy with a 15-second lead. And you can just hear the screaming off the tyres going through the double left-hander.
The gaps have opened up more between these drivers.
Yeah, we're starting to see a few gaps formed. There's a semi-close battle.
Finn's starting to gain on Tuesday now.
Somewhere. Where is this battle? Ted and... Is that Math Gamer? Yeah, Math Gamer only a second and a bit behind Ted as he's into the barrier with big damage and almost a little bit of contact. We're getting on board of what happened with Ted. Onto the curb, braking, and the car down, and almost actually collects Math Gamer in the process as he's into the pits again for more damage. And Tiger's all over the back of Finn now. 4/10 separate them as they approach turn 7 and turn 8 here, and they run down towards the long triple right-hander similar to Turkey. Tiger going almost 2/10 quicker than his personal best time, which is currently at 1:30.2. Been almost running a little bit wide. Tiger unable to make any moves yet, but we've seen with Two Saints battle that the Aston Martin's got some quick straight line speed down the straight. Finn goes defensive to the inside a little bit. Tiger, I don't think he's close enough to go for a dive down the inside, but he's going to try and potentially go slightly wider. Finn makes the mistake with a snap of oversteer. Tiger's going to go down the inside, side by side through the final corner. Finn somehow still keeps his third place. Great defending after making a mistake. Was able to hold it round the outside, having confidence in the Ferrari, which is something not many people can say about that car. But he's done really well to hold it. And Tiger now we're looking to get past as soon as possible. He's going to try and dive it down the inside, and gets the move done. But that won't help him for his run down to the straights after turn 6. But Finn, a little mistake there, lost the rear after getting on the power a little bit too early, and that's cost his run down towards the hairpin. That moves Tiger up into third place. He'll be looking to try and close down on his teammate for second place, but Tiger is after moving his way up into the podium positions.
Finn consumed a lot of fuel in those battles with Tuesday and Tiger.
Yeah, definitely. He's he's only got about 30% of his fuel left, and he's on the super soft side, so he's definitely going to make at least another pit stop. He might come off those super softs and go onto the soft tyres and go to the end. Tiger and Toussaint could go to the end of the race on those soft tyres. Those battles won't have helped. Sorry about that. But yeah, your front three, Dutchy, Toussaint and Tiger. Finn in 4th place, Epic in 5th.
Ninja, Kid Viper and Ted in a really close battle now. Yeah, almost a three-way battle.
Three-way battle for Ted for third. As Ted getting onto the grass there, almost losing the rear. Almost had a three-way battle for Ted. Yeah, these 3 drivers. We've got a three-way battle for 9th. It's
coming in.
We've got a BMW against a Mercedes against an Aston Martin. British engineering versus German engineering versus another German engineering. But Fergie the Viper's run wide, and that's going to allow Scouting Ninja to go side by side. Scouting Ninja around the outside in turn 9. A really good move from him. This mistake from Fergie the Viper could allow Ted to potentially see a move. Ted's going to have the momentum going through turn 9 to potentially pull up alongside into the final corner. On board with Ted now. Going to literally ride on board with him. He's looking for the inside. Brakes a little bit later, but doesn't go for anything down the inside yet. But he's going to keep the front of his car and goes down the inside of Fergie the Viper, down the inside of the BMW driver, up into 10th place.
The Viper's sauce really gone out now. Front tires are less than 50%.
And Ted now in the slipstream of Scouting Ninja after pitting for damage 2 or 3 times in this race already. He probably doesn't want to make another pit stop. He can probably take those soft tyres to the end. All over the back of Scouting Ninja. Will he go for a move down the inside? Looked for it, but doesn't go for anything as of yet. On board with Ted, sorry. And we can get a rear shot of Scouting Mirror's rear wing. You can see Ted and the Aston Martin pulling up alongside. Ted on the inside, Scouting on the right, on the outside for turn 6. They head down at the hairpin. Ted going down the inside of the Mercedes. He's going to try and hold it round the outside. Fergie the Viper is also gone a little bit too late on the brakes, but that promoted Ted up into 9th place, and Ted going from 11th to 9th in just under a lap. The gap between Dutchy and Toussaint. 16.6 seconds. Thrilling.
Wow.
Massive difference, massive gap between those guys.
Dutchy like 7 to 8 tenths quicker each lap than Toussaint.
And Toussaint's opened up a little bit of a gap to his teammate. 2.2 seconds between those guys. Finn, only 3 seconds behind in 4th. Don't count him out just yet. He does have to make another stop. RNG Limbs has picked up front left damage. Where did he get that? Well, he's had it before the straight. I'm not sure. Has he had it the whole game, the whole race?
Oh, was it? Oh, when he spun, when he went on top of that curb.
Could have been. I don't know if he's picked up more damage.
I don't think he hit for damage.
No, I think he's kept the suspension damage. And the aero damage. That's definitely not going to help him in this race. And
would he? This would he? Okay. The gaps have really opened up a lot between these drivers now.
As Play Dutchy's just lap scouting Ninja. Lap 20. Lap 22. 27 minutes remaining in this race. Almost got the mixed round. But it's been a good race. We had a fair few battles. Obviously the strategy is different. It's going to be interesting to see what Finn does, whether he pits for another set of super softs or will take the soft tyres to the end. I'd imagine it'd be the softs, but when he does pit, he'll probably come up behind either Epic or right behind RNG. It's going to be close between those guys. I think he'll come out somewhere behind Epic. Depends on how much fuel he puts in. Epic on the soft tyres. They probably go to the end of the race, depending on if he can conserve his fuel. It's hard to see how much fuel he's got in and how long that will go into the race.
Tiger catching Toussaint.
So it's like a
margin.
Only 1.9 seconds behind his teammate. It's looking really good for the two Aston Martin BCMR drivers running in second and third. Dutchy, the BDE running in first and 7th place. Woody stood on the medium tyres from earlier on in the race, and I think we're kind of at that stage now where the on-track action has kind of died down a little bit, but we've got Finn into the pits. We'll see what set of tyres Finn is going to go out onto in a minute. He puts in a bit of fuel, quite a bit of fuel, a fair amount of fuel. Stops refueling and it's onto another set of super soft, and he's going to come out just behind RNG. So we might potentially see a battle for 5th place here. Obviously RNG on the super soft as well, much worn super softs, but he has that front aero and suspension damage. That's definitely not going to help him in this race. Let's just have a look at some of the live timings while there's not many on-track battles. We can see the top 4 on the soft tyres, these two on the super softs. We've got a few mediums and a few soft runners. The red bar just showing how far they are on track. We can see the lap charts and the circles. You can see that the actual battle for second is still on, and so we've got 2 battles for 5th and 2nd. RNG Limbs and Finn, and Tiger 1.3 seconds behind his teammate. So we could hope potentially be seeing some close battles in the near future. Only 24 minutes left to go in the race, and if anyone would like to start any conversation in the chat, we're more welcome to.
Please, just do more than 20 minutes left.
Anyone who wants to potentially join the league, there are 3 spots available.
Tiger and Toussaint. Gap is less than a second now.
So
can we see more team orders?
As Finn is also close down the back to RNG. RNG though comes into the pits, presumably to change the front wing, and not the front wing, what am I saying? The front suspension and aero. He almost ran out of fuel actually, only 4% of his fuel left, and he'll probably go for push towards the end of this race. Would he get promoted up into 6th place? But meanwhile we've got a battle up for 2nd place. Tiger and Toussaint are battling for the second spot in the podium. Play Dutchy, 17.6 seconds clear in the lead. RNG Williams goes into the medium tyres for the remaining 23 minutes in this race. But we've got the two Aston Martin drivers batting away for the lead. Tiger and Hussein, only 3/10 are separating the two drivers, and it could potentially be a really good end to this race. You can see on the onboard of Hussein, Tiger is all over the back of him now. We'll have the slipstream for the straights. Not had the best of exits through the long triple right-hander of turn 9, 10, 9, 10 and 11 I think, or 10, 9, 10, 11 and 12. I think it's 10, 11 and 12. But we've got the battle up for 6th place here as Finn getting past Woody. Did Finn get past Woody, or was Finn already ahead of Woody?
I think Finn was already ahead of Woody.
Hey, my replay cameras have gone so far back in the past. My replay camera just went back to lap 21. Did Woody make a mistake? I'm not too sure. I thought Woody came out ahead of Finn.
No damage. Yeah.
No damage. I'm not too sure. There might have been a mistake or something. Let me actually check the timings. Woody is set relatively similar lap times to everyone else. Not too sure what happened there. But anyway, the battle for second place continues. Only 7/10 separate the two Aston Martin drivers, two British drivers in second and third. Hussein and Tiger both join me on the podcast, which we still haven't recorded. But that new episode will be up hopefully on the weekend or for Monday. But anyway, with just under 22 minutes left to go in the race, we're on lap 25. Dutchy though, about to start lap 26 as he's on the start-finish straight, and you can see there's one of the two Dusty Racing drivers. I'm still trying to remember the team names. I believe it's Ted in 9th. Math Gamer has himself a 0-second time penalty. Interesting. That's probably less than 1/10 of a second. That's why it says 0.0 seconds. But the gap between the second and third is still 7/10, so maybe they're working together to try and close down a massive gap to Dutchy. It's unlikely, but not impossible in motorsport.
You just type in the chat, Dutchy, can you do an extra pit
stop for the wets. But it's been a really good race from Dutchy. Similar to last season though, once again, completely dominating the field so far. 20 seconds with 20 minutes to go, so if you said 20 minutes and 40 minutes, you can do the maths, and he's probably going to finish this race with a 30-minute lead. 30-second lead, sorry. Not a 30-minute, that's quite a massive gap. But I think this is our closest battle on track currently. Hello Techers in the chat. Cryptech asking if Dutchy can pit again. Interesting. Dutchy currently on the soft tyres, coming around the final corner now. We'll see what he does. That's right on board with him. Does he pit? No, he doesn't. So Dutchy staying out. Dutchy in the Toyota Supra stays out for another lap on those soft tyres. They might. I don't think those softs will go to the end. I reckon they'll pit for the Super Softs. It's going towards the end of the race. Wolfie's saying Dutchy's a robot. There's probably more robot than human in the driver's seat of that car.
Running on really low fuel.
So Epic with his warning light on, so he's definitely going to have to make another pit stop.
If he pits, Finn will get in front of him on a good amount of fuel and tyres.
It's usually less than 10%, or either 3 to 5 laps of fuel left when the warning light comes on. Pit stop, probably tyres, fuel and damage, about 15-20 seconds maybe. All depends on how much fuel and tyres the drivers change, because obviously they're getting given the option to change tyres or not to change tyres, to add fuel or not to add fuel, and if they add fuel it's how much fuel they add, and obviously if they have any damage it's those repairs. So there is kind of no set pit stop, but it's I'd say it varies around 8 to 20 seconds. So it'll probably come out.
Ted on the back of Math Gamer right now.
Probably come out ahead of P5 or 6. But Ted
gonna try it down the inside of Math Gamer. Will he get the move done? Yes, he does. Nice and easily.
Ted up into 8th place, similarly with his teammate on low fuel, so he might have to pit again for more fuel. Math Gamer though with plenty of fuel on the medium tyres. And we've got a Ted fan. Wolfie rooting for Ted in the chat.
Ted.
Ted in 8th place, currently 19.4 seconds behind RNG. RNG still has that front left damage from earlier on in the race and has decided not to repair it. But he's setting consistent lap times, 132s. High 132s is his consistent lap. Dutchy in the 31s though. Dutchy on a whole new level. Dutchy actually approaching this battle between Ted and Matt Gamer. So these two are going to be waved the blue flags. This could be an interesting scenario. Two people battling with the blue flags. Obviously we saw last week people capitalising on these blue flag situations, and also in the F1 side of things. Epic pits with 1% of fuel left in the car.
So
he's into the pits with the soft tyres. Play Dutchy though, catching up to these two guys. And hopefully they'll get out of the way as quickly as possible with no incidents on track.
Woody goes into the pits.
Woody also into the pits from the medium tyres. As Dutchy getting past Math Gamer. It's opened up a bit of a gap to Ted, 2.2 seconds, so you can gain and also lose a lot of time while lapping cars, but it is a rule in the sport. Obviously the blue flags, if you wave the blue flags, it makes sense just to move off the racing line and reduce your acceleration by 40%. And ladies and gentlemen, Dutchy pits.
Dutchy pits.
Yeah, Cryptek's prayers have come true, and Santa's given him his wish.
Pit stop anyways.
And comes into the pits. It was actually I think that was a scheduled pit stop as well. We only had 5% of fuel left, and you can see on the map, Toussaint coming through the final corner. Pits. Toussaint also into the pits. Tiger Assassin leads this. Sorry, Pedestre comes out just ahead of Tiger now. Toussaint only had 2% of fuel left, and Tiger's been able to conserve his fuel for a bit longer. And now we've got I was going to say we had a battle for the lead, but it's just actually getting past Ted.
Just the closest battle we have.
As Toussaint's pitted and come out in 3rd place ahead of Finn, who's got Epic 3.4 seconds behind him. Play Dutchy though still leads this race only by 4.1 seconds now after the pit stop, but I think Tiger is also due to make another scheduled pit stop. Doesn't have too much fuel to play with, about 20% left in the tank, but I'm not sure 20% is going to be able to last 15 minutes. If it does, it will have to use the other engine modes, which will consequently decrease his speed, similar to lean mix in F1. However, there is a much greater effect if you're using engine 1 compared to 3, 4 or 6.
I hate engine 1, never using it again. Cost me a place.
There's a car in
terribly
the pit.
slow in the straight line.
Math Gamer.
Math Gamer pits. Goes onto the super softs.
So Math Gamer
Softs.
on the soft tyres. Tiger stays out for another lap on his worn soft tyres. Has the fuel to go a little bit further on in the race. Currently 5 seconds behind Dutchy. 17 seconds ahead of his teammate. But I'm sure he'll be making another stop in this race. We've got a few cars coming through the final corner. I don't know if they're blue flagged cars. It's Epic actually gaining on Finn. So Epic only 2.5 seconds behind Finn. So we'll be seeing some Italian versus British engineering. Hopefully, potentially in the next 3 laps, judging by the lap times. I would say the next. I should be like that graphic they have in F1. Yeah. I would say Epic will close the gap in the next 3 laps. Striking distance in 3 laps, I'd say. And I agree with Wolfie in the chat. I don't think Tiger's tyres will last the full 14 minutes. And yeah, he's got the warning light now, and is losing time to Dutchy as he's gaining on Math Gamer though. Math Gamer was down in 9th place. As Charles Leclerc saying Dutchy is really quick in this race. He's generally really quick in pretty much every every game he plays that has four wheels and is now into the pits. Had 7% of fuel left. Was about 2 seconds behind his teammate, so it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out near his teammate. I think his teammate's going through the start-finish straight now, and there goes Toussaint with the 10th penalty. Doesn't get passed by Finn though, but no. Don't worry guys, Toussaint and Tiger did not both blow up, but Tiger going for a move down the inside as Toussaint served his 10th penalty down the straight. So that moves Tiger up into second place. And it's quite lagging a little bit. Hang on 1 second. I think we're all good, and this is going to be really difficult to spectate and commentate on with this a little better without the lag than my spectator cam. Finn defending from Epic as Tiger now up into second place after Toussaint serving his penalty.
Now. It's really gaining on Finn.
I said 3 laps, and they're almost about to start their 3rd lap, so they're on their 2nd lap and a half. So as they cross the line, it will be their 3rd lap. So F1, sign me up. Epic though, looking for a move down the inside. I don't know why I don't have the names anymore. I seem to have lost my race. I seem to have lost my stuff.
Epic into 4th place. And Dodgy with a 25-second gap, by the way.
Okay, I've lost names over the players, but that shouldn't hinder us too much. But Epic now up into 4th place, as you say, getting past Finn in the final penultimate corner. But Finn would potentially try and look for it down the inside. Doesn't go for it.
Oh, he has a really nice Red Bull helmet.
And Finn, really nice, kind of like midnight vibes to Red Bull helmet. I like the purple and the light blue.
Yeah.
A really nice colour combination. We've got yellow flags down at the hairpin. There seems to be there's a lot of cars down by the hairpin. I think it's
not dodgy.
It's who's behind Toussaint and Tiger? Is it Math? Oh, it's Math Game, Math Folk the Viper and Scouting Ninja. Actually, we've got a battle at the back.
Oh right.
For 10th place. So I was like, I don't know what the yellow flags are for. Maybe it's just a few drivers going slowly, allowing Toussaint and Tiger to go through. But we've got Tiger and Toussaint. The gap between him and Toussaint's opened up to 1.4 seconds, so maybe there was a little bit of traffic towards the back. Scouting Ninjas lost time to Fergie the Viper. Unlike the F1 League, so there are points for every position. First gets 30, second gets 24, third gets 21, fourth will get 18, fifth for 15 for 5th, I think it's 12 for 6th, 10, 8, 6, 5 for 10th, and then 3 for 11th, I think that made sense. But Epic is gaining on the back of Scouting Ninja as Finn is off into the pits from the super soft. So Finn going for the clear aggressive strategy. Scouting Ninja getting out of the way of Epic nicely there. Finn going for the I think he's made 3 stops for this super soft. So like I said in the pre-season race, there are kind of 2 main strategies: is go long on the hardest compounds of tyres and make less pit stops, or go quick and aggressive on the quicker compound of tyre. But who's in front of Epic? I think it's Fergie the Viper. Fergie the Viper allows Epic to go through. So blue flags haven't been an issue from what I've seen this race. We've had 33 laps with 9 minutes to go. But meanwhile, Play Dutchy still has the fastest lap of the race, the 1 minute 30, 29.823. I think that's exactly the same time and I think he's gone quicker than Quali actually. I think he's only gone a few hundredths quicker in Quali.
Yeah. No, his Quali time was at 129.8.
Yes, an 8 something. I think it was an 8.64 potentially. I can't quite remember. It's been 50 minutes, but yeah, with 8 minutes left to go, the 25-second gap. I think it's fair to say Dutchy's got this one. Don't want to jinx anything just yet, but all is looking well for the man up front. We haven't got many battles across the grid. We've got Scouting Ninja second behind Fergie the Viper, but Dutchy after 2 races could be picking up Maximum points. 62 is the maximum after 30, after 2 races. 31 is the maximum amount of points for one driver. And 55 is the highest a constructors team can score with a 1-2 and the fastest lap of the race.
Awesome.
Quick maths.
Yeah, grade 9.
And but I think our closest battle on track is for 10th place. Ferky the Viper on the softs, Scouting Ninja on much worn softs. So we'll just leave it here for now. Woody cutting the corner a little bit. That could be potentially be a penalty. Scout Ninja 9/10 a second behind. Ferky the Viper.
Touchy crush. Dutchy really is sending it out today. He hasn't even seen second driver in second.
Didn't get off to the greatest of starts, Dutchy, down to 5th place by turn 2. But
seems more cars than he saw drivers in second.
But yeah, we got the battle for 10th place, Scouting and Ferky the Viper. Only 8 tenths separate these two guys, so I think this is our closest battle on track. But let's ride an onboard lap of Play Dutchy. Let's actually go into the onboard of the first-person camera as from the cockpit cam. So as Dutchy approaches the final corner, down to second gear, hitting the first apex, running a little bit wide to get the good apex for the final corner, hitting the apex nicely. A little bit of oversteer on exit as climbing through the gears in the Toyota Supra, not the quickest in the straight line, but we'll have a nice onboard of Play Dutchy's lap. I'm not sure it's going to be a competitive lap on the worn tyres and quite heavy fuel. Turning in for turn 1 though, lifting off the accelerator, dropping down into 4th gear before the braking point into turn 2, dropping it down into 2nd gear before hitting the first apex and then clipping the second one before hooking it up into the third left-hander, perfectly riding the red sausage curb on the apex of turn 4 through the little kink of turn 5 in the run down to turn 6, through the gears up into 5th place, up into 6th gear before going down all the way through to 1st gear, the 180-degree hairpin. Climbing through the gears now, getting on the power not too heavily through the first of the few S's, the left followed by the right, followed by another left, and all seems to be really clean from Play Dutchy so far on this lap. Coming up next is the triple right-hander, hits the first one perfectly in 3rd gear, short goes down to 2nd before going up into 3rd, down to 2nd and then back up into 3rd place. Dutchy not sure what gear he wants to take that corner in, probably going down to the lower gear to get that extra a little bit of extra rotation, as now down to the penultimate corners, braking around the 100-metre board I think that was, as through the final corner, all clean from Play Dutchy to round through the final corner and down the start finish straight.
Wow, everything from lines to gears, everything's up.
And I completely missed this, but Scouting Ninja's just pitted for
fuel. Yeah, you did have low fuel, yeah.
And fresh set of soft tyres, 16 seconds behind Ferky the Viper, 4 minutes to go. If there's anyone you want to see in on board from, just let us know in the comments. Well, we've got 5 minutes left in the session. We'll ride on board with, who should we ride on board with?
Who's got the least amount of screen time today?
Who's...
Math gamer? Or... Ted?
Math game is about to be lapped by one of the BCMI drivers. I believe it's Tiger Assassin. As Ferky the Viper's into the pits actually, so this could provide some action for us, depending on where he comes out near Scouting Ninja.
Please give us some action. Does a bit though.
Math Gamer getting out of the way of Tiger Assassin. No. Meanwhile, Scouting Ninja comes out, and yeah, so maybe there could have been damage between someone. I'm not too sure if there was. On board, there's Finn behind Ferky the Viper, who's about to lap him. Toussaint behind his teammate. And with 3 minutes to go, let us know who your driver of the day is in the chat. We'll try and get a vote in before the end of the race. We've got a few drivers going closely in the hairpin. I think that could be blue flags. Yeah, it's Finn closing down the back of Berkey the Viper in the BMW.
Who do you think has the best livery?
Best livery as Tiger's pitting.
Oh,
Tiger into the pit, so Tiger's doing exactly what he done last week, pitting on the potential final lap of the race. He's going to try and go for the fastest lap. He knows he's going to come out in third place, and he will be going for the fastest lap of the race. So in all fairness, it helps both him and Toussaint in constructors. If one of them can get the fastest lap of the race, it will be an extra point for them. He will have to push mega hard though to try and beat that 1 minute 29 set by Dutchy. He might need his teammates' help for slipstream potentially. But any driver of the days in the chat? We've got one from Charles Leclerc saying Dutchy driver of the day. It's been an absolute dominating race from Play Dutchy. 27.6 seconds in the lead of the race, still setting 1 minute 30 lap times. Really quick from Play Dutchy. But I think it will be worthy.
Oh, got yellow flag. Oh, someone spun around. It's Woody. Woody's spun around again.
So Woody's spinning again. That's the second time in 2 races. Woody, kind of the Ferrari driver of the GT Sport League in the Toyota. But
so you've got one vote in for Dutchy. Driver of the day.
Dutchy. As we're going to have to get an on-board lap of Tiger's attempt of fastest lap. And currently in third place, a second and a bit behind his teammate in third. He's got the Lexus of Math Gamer in front of him. He'll need to put Math Gamer. What did I say? Did I say Math Gamer?
Yeah, he's a Math Gamer.
Oh, yeah, Math Gamer in front of him. We'll need to get out of the way as soon as possible with the blue flags. Tiger though really gaining through turn 1. This could be a bit of an issue if he doesn't get out of the way. He's still on the apex. Can't really be getting out of the way of Tiger behind. And he's pushed him, this contact, and that's not great from Math Gamer's point of view.
Oh, Tiger's got damage.
Tiger does have damage.
Front bumper damage.
And he's still not getting out of the way. Math Gamer really needs to get out of the way here. Blue flags, he goes deep into the corner. Math Gamer, that's going to allow Tiger to go up the inside. I'm sure there'll be a claim about that in the chat, in the claims chat. I'm sure the stewards will give that a look after the race. But not great from Math Gamer's point of view.
Bumper damage.
Should have got out of the way on the run down to turn 1, to be honest with you. If not, through just before turn 2. But time is up, or almost up. Play Dutchy will start another lap there. Unfortunately, it goes Tiger's attempt of fastest lap. Who's on the start-finish straight? Who's about to finish? I'm not seeing it's Woody. Woody comes across the line and finishes in P7 in this race. Ted in 8th place is getting blue flags from, I think that's Toussaint. But Ted will come across the line in 8th place. Toussaint will get 2nd place in this race. Tiger Assassin in 3rd place. It's a good race from him. Unfortunately, didn't get the fastest lap due to blue flag traffic. So I'm sure that'll be looked at by the stewards after the race. Epic comes across the line in 4th, to finish in 4th. Finn will finish in 5th place ahead of Berkey the Viper, who he's just lapped, almost losing the rear there through the final corner, but Finn will come across the line in 5th. Berkey the Viper will finish in 10th, and Scouting Ninja now through the final corner.
When he just typed, they call me the Vettel. Do this league? Oh, I think of this league, he meant.
But everyone, I think, has finished the lap. RNG, though, we're still with the front left damage from the start of this race. Comes across the final corner now. And will finish in 6th place. But, as the supposed driver of the day, we only had one vote. 28-second lead. Play Dutchy wins the second race in a row. His second race win of the season, and has well, it says he's lapped the entire field, but that's just the way the timings work. And there is your race winner. It's a very familiar helmet design we've seen over the past few races, and that is will bring to an end the round 2 here at Dragon Trail Gardens. Your top 3: Play Dutchy, Tiger, Toussaint, and Tiger, but that has brought to an end that's brought to an end round 2 here at Dragon Trail Gardens. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have Twitch Prime. Subscribe to the Twitch. Feel free to go onto the YouTube, check out the F1 Project Cars, GT Sport, the podcast. There's an F1 event on the 18th of October if you want to sign up. Sign-ups are on the website. Thank you to the Black Country Meta Recovery for sponsoring the league, and it's been a great race. Let me quickly save the race replay just in case we need it. And yeah, it's been a great race. Thank you, Cryptech, for joining me. Next week we'll be in Mount Panorama next week.
Oh yeah.
It will be in the day this time, but we will have a Mount Panorama race for round 3. Same time, same place, same day. See you guys next week. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Forza Ferrari.